June, are we? Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's VC Task Force Gary's Picks event for investors and startups. My name is Joel Rosenberg, Director of Business Development and Strategy for VC Task Force. VC Task Force is an organization where the venture community comes together to address critical issues, provide workshops, and other events for the benefit of the venture and entrepreneurial communities. VC Task Force provides access to an extensive ecosystem of VCs, CVCs, and angel investors. You may ask questions anytime during today's event, and time permitting, they will be answered live after today's interview. It is my pleasure to welcome Gary's Picks host, Gary Fowler. Gary is CEO and co-founder of GSD Venture Studios, an award-winning growth stage AI venture studio. Gary is also co-founder of the award-winning AI startup Yva.ai, as well as the investment firm DY Investments. Today, Gary will be interviewing special guest, Liula Schiceya, co-founder and CEO of Cylon Accounting. 85% of businesses in Africa lack access to banking services due to an absence of accounting records. Cylon offers accounting, building HRM and payroll tools to get African businesses on the books and into banks. The income and expenses management tool auto-generates all financial reports for business owners, accountants, bookkeepers in Southern Africa, Cylon also provides financial literacy training for these businesses and individuals. Jesse has been awarded Best Paygate Solution in Namibia 2020, Most Promising Entrepreneur in Southern Africa 2022, Most Creative Business in Namibia 2022, and now he is also an AWS Ambassador for Startups. Take it away, Gary.
Thanks, Joel. Appreciate it. Thanks, Joel. June, great to have you here, Jesse. So Schiceya, I love the name, actually. Beautiful. So tell me a little bit about it. So Jesse, let's talk about your journey. So you went to Abbott's College, then you went to London Business School. Now, did you go to London Business School in Southern Africa, Namibia, or where did you go to school?
Oh, thanks for having me here, Gary. It's a pleasure. So Abbott's College Claremont is in Cape Town, South Africa, and then I studied at CTI, which is a varsity college, and the qualifications come from London Business School.
Wow, that's great. So how is it, by the way? So I see that you were a ShopRite assistant. Where was that? Like the US, right?
Right. Yeah. So for those that don't know, ShopRite is a a supermarket, rather, for better words. And that's when I was about 16 all the way up till 18. It was my holiday job. So I needed to keep myself busy and save some money.
Jesse, where was that? Was that because we have a ShopRite in Delaware? There's a ShopRite. It's not the same one, is it?
It probably is. This was in Tsumeb, a town that I grew up in. Tsumeb is in the northern part of Namibia, and I did my primary school and half of my high school there.
Interesting. So now I got to tell you, you were a deli box salesman. What was that?
Right. So in Cape Town as a student, I wanted to make some extra cash, right, to spend on my hobbies and buy myself some cool stuff. So I got a job at the deli box, and this job post is at the waterfront in Cape Town. And I started off as I'd say the lowest entry. I was still being trained at the time, so I'd say an intern. And then I slowly moved up to sales, into the sales junior position. And about 6 months later, I moved up into sales manager. And it was a great experience because Cape Town's international. You meet a lot of international people. And to my advantage, I speak Portuguese, understand Spanish, I speak Afrikaans, and I can understand German and reply here and there. So it was a wild experience, really cool.
No, that's great. So So tell me a little bit about it. So, and then you went to GFA Consulting Group, right? GmbH in Namibia. But so what is the cultural differences between South Africa and Namibia? How different is it?
There's not much difference. I'd say the difference would be in the tribes, but in how we operate, how we talk, the food we eat, extremely similar. And with GFA, I was running a consulting company called Cylon Apps, where we built websites, the digital marketing. We built mobile apps as well, and we did cybersecurity consultation. And GFA is a company in Germany, and they sent me an email and asked me if you'd like to consult, and I was like, yeah, sure. And at that moment, that's when I started learning about startups, and I was like, oh wow, I think if I continue working here, it will be conflict of interest.
Wow, that's amazing. So you did GFA, and did you like it? Hello? Joe? June? Joe?
Hi, Gary, I
Yeah,
think I
yeah.
lost you.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like we disappeared for a second. So tell me a little bit about it. I thought I was losing my mind there for a second. What about, so tell me a little bit about GFA. So you did that for a short period of time? All right. So it looks like we lost them. Okay.
I have paused the recording and it looks like he's coming back in. So I'll start up again.
All right, I'm
What-
back. Sorry
is
about that, man. My
Is there a
internet was
problem,
like,
Jesse? Yeah, are you having internet problems?
it was. I just switched off my PC and a few devices. I should.
Okay, so let's go down through and Jesse, so tell me a little bit about it. So what made you decide to form Cylon? I know you did Cylon Apps as a freelancer. So what, and for 7 years, so how did you make that leap from GFA to Cylon? And then how did you make the leap from Cylon Apps to Cylon Accounting?
Well, Gary, upon frustration, I should say, because while I was running Cylon accounting, I'd always get late payments, and it's hard to run a business when your customers pay late. And at the same time, you have to manage some employees, and obviously all that frustration it becomes stressful. So after GFA, I then decided I'd start building a product, and I built 3 products. I built a medtech product because I've got a lot of friends that are doctors. My mom wanted me to become a doctor, as I said no. My brother became a doctor, but I was like, no, I can't deal with that. So I went into the computer science field. But nonetheless, so I built a medtech app, and well, none of my people wanted to go into that entrepreneurship journey. I then built a advertising agency. So, well, advertising tool rather, a SaaS tool as well. And I launched that in 2019, and I believe it was too early because after I closed it or shelved it, rather, COVID-19 hit, and I noticed another startup came up with it, and they started booming, and I was like, oh gosh, I should have I shouldn't have closed that. And I later on decided, well, you know what, let me solve my own problems. And during Cylon Apps, I didn't like the fact that I needed to create my invoices on Excel, my quotations on Excel, and when it came to taxes and financial reports, it was always a mess. Towards the end of the month, it was always so stressful. So I was like, you know what, maybe there's a solution to this. And I had a look at a few applications that are out there, and I quickly realized that these applications aren't tailored for the Southern African market. So I was like, maybe there's an opportunity here. I built a beta version, launched it, and in the first month, I saw paying customers, and I was like, okay, we are onto something here. And I then joined the pre-accelerator program. I learned about startups. I learned about how to manage, how to run it, what kind of team you need to have. And that's where the journey began. And we're still in it. We're about to be 1 year on the 25th of October, which is really exciting.
Wow, that's great. Congratulations. Now, how many team members do you have today?
Right. So we have one of my oldest friends, Mario. He's a co-founder. We've known each other since preschool, and well, we've been friends our whole life, literally. And he's a pro in the financial field. We also have Sylvie. She handles the marketing and PR. We have Killian. He handles the customer support, and based off the customer support results, we're able to then do research of the customers, and with that information, we're now tailoring the product so that we reach product market fit. And we've got Madam Indeshi. She is also a financial expert. She's in the economics field, and she helps with the financial literacy. And then we have Tanu. She is the one that's responsible for the building of the technology. And in Tanu's group, there's about 3 developers. And yeah, and we have great mentors that also advise us and support us in the journey.
No, that's super. And so what kind of revenue do you have today? Are you generating revenue?
Yes, we're generating revenue. So we've generated a total of 15,555 in ARR. And with that said, revenue has been standard customers, premium customers, and then standard customers on monthly, premium customers on monthly, and then a few premium customers on annual. So saying that turning that ARR into MRR is still something I'm trying to understand. But in ARR, we are 15,555, and that's calculated based off the fees that Stripe deducts from our payments. So if there were no fees being deducted from the payments coming through the system, we'd probably be at, I think, 17,000. But obviously there's fees to be paid.
What do you expect next year? What kind of growth do you expect?
Well, it's really exciting, Gary. I must say, AWS ambassador responsibility came out of nowhere. I received an email from AWS, and I thought it was a scam or a hacker. So I did my research and I learned it was a real person.
It wasn't
one of those.
It wasn't, I remember getting those from Nigeria in the old days, that would be all kinds of deals, like really strange deals. It was like, you've been awarded, your uncle was a prince. You probably don't know that. I don't have an uncle.
Definitely, right? So I thought it was a scam and I learned it wasn't. I was like, awesome. And looking at our current position in Southern Africa, we are in 6 different countries at the moment. So it's Namibia, South Africa, Botswana, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Tanzania. And there's a lot of interest in partnerships in Tanzania and Zimbabwe. And I'm looking at, as soon as we launch our mobile app and reach product market fit by roughly late March, we should be hitting a healthy MRR of 10,000 plus, 10,000 US dollars plus, hopefully $20,000. So what's missing from our product is literally completing our human resource and payroll, completing our bank import with the auto bank, with the bank reconciliation, so automatically from the bank into the application. And the last piece of the puzzle is, well, our reports are already tailored for the Namibian South African market. However, tailor making it to the other markets and turning all of that into a mobile app. And we should see extreme growth after that, because there's a lot of interest, but you'll hear things like, I wish you had this, I wish you had that. Do you have bookkeeper support? And for accounting firms, they would say, do you guys have double entries, so your general ledgers and your charts of accounts and so on? Do you have bank import? And we've been listening to all of these things. We've been hearing what our customers have been saying, and we've made notes and planned. We've designed the blueprints on Miro, and we're soon going to reach product market fit because we're building as we go. And currently, we're about to finish our human resource and payroll module. And thereafter, we're moving into the bank reconciliation, the automatic bank report, bank statement imports.
No, that's great. How is it, by the way, when you go, Jesse, when you're dealing with all the different countries now, how is it going to them? Are there cultural difference between those countries or not? Is it hard to sell in those countries? How do you sell?
Well, I was fortunate enough to grow up in I would say international field. So one of my mom's best friends is a Swahili lady, and Tanzania is known to speak Swahili and the culture and so on and so on. So I grew up eating that kind of food. Looking at South Africa, I obviously speak
Now,
Afrikaans, English.
do you need to go and speak Swahili to do business there or not?
No, 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 no. So so it's I believe it's a law of attraction, right? So the lady in or the group of people in Tanzania that would love to partner up with us, they sent me an email and they're like, we love what you do. Would you like support in finding angel investors and so on? And from that discussion, it grew into bank partnerships, deals in Tanzania so that we're able to scale and grow in the, I mean, just like Zambia, for example, I was never in Zambia, right? But same thing, received the email. They're like, "Hey, Jess, we love what you do. Would you like to be a speaker at one of our events?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And from that discussion, it's led into, well, a whole partnership with various organizations where we can easily scale remotely without having physical presence there just yet. It will be nice that in the near future we have a physical team on the ground that can provide the financial literacy and onboard all these businesses, especially with the customer support, because we've also learned that sometimes the customers like to speak their native language, and if you can't reply in that, well, you've lost a potential customer.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So you got to speak the native language. And what are the plans going forward? Where do you want to go?
Well, from here, I'd like us to get product market fit. That's key. Reach about a thousand customers in Namibia, and also start deploying teams and partnerships in these 6 countries. And a special build that we're doing is we're looking at integrating QR code payments. The reason for this is because we've learned that um, the informal sector is huge. I mean, if you look at statistics of Zambia, for example, the informal sector is bigger than the formal sector by far, a lot of percentages. So you remove the informal sector, the economy crashes, and that's the case for most of the countries in Southern Africa. So with our QR code payment, our business or our informal sector customers will then be able to receive payments directly into their bank account, and that automatically links to our accounting tool. And their reports will then be able to, they'll then be able to generate the reports based on the income and the expenses. And that will enable them access to microfinancing from various partners. And that I see major growth in that. So as soon as we reach product market fit, that will be the next focus point right after we get our customers, which is our goal is 1,000 customers, 1,000 paying customers.
No, that's great. That's great. So, what do we, we're looking at the African market. I mean, what's the feeling like there today? So exactly in Namibia, what is it feeling? Do you feel the electricity and excitement? Do you see the growth potential, or what does it feel like?
Well, you would love Namibia, Gary. I must say that because during winter it's not cold. It's like summer. So you could still walk around in a shirt and
Oh, I love
jeans
that.
and so on.
That sounds great. It's
Definitely.
summer all the time, right?
Yeah, but when it's hot, it's extremely hot. But
Yeah, well, I don't know about the hot stuff, but I like the summer stuff for sure.
definitely. So the crime rate is really low here. We in Namibia don't have issues like electricity and water. Well, in most parts of the country, in the rural areas, you will find electricity issues and so on, and water issues. But compared to other countries, we don't have random shutdowns of electricity or lights going off at the random time of the day and you're off without lights for a few hours. That's the one thing I love about Namibia. And also the people. I mean, people are pretty friendly here. It's rare to find aggressive people. And as you know, you'll find negative energy if you go into negative areas, right? So if you stay in your positive energy, you'll constantly find the positive people. That's the one thing I love about Namibia. And looking at the startup ecosystem, recently a company called Jabu launched during COVID time. So they are a logistics company. They launched during COVID times, and they managed to raise 3.3 million US dollars. Think pre-seed. It was a pre-seed round. And 2 years later, they raised, well, this year, they raised $15 million for the Series A. So it shows that there is a healthy market here in Namibia, and they're now scaling into Southern Africa and other parts of Southern Africa. And other startups in Namibia also doing pretty well. Recently, I've been to a meeting with the Central Bank of Namibia, and they will be approving the Fintech license, which is extremely exciting for me. We pitched our startup idea, and they love what we're doing, and they're like, "Hey, dude, we'll get working soon. Here's our email addresses. Pop us an email. We'll let you know when the Fintech license is ready, and you'll be on our list of startups that will gain access to this." And that's pretty exciting, because looking at our roadmap, we do have some pay gates and so forth to help our customers, and there's major growth in that area. We're not as
No,
advanced as South Africa though, but there was a time Namibia and South Africa were one. So there will come a time that as soon as we reach our fintech licenses and a few technologies in the space, we should see healthy growth in the community.
no, that's super. And it's interesting you say that it's got low crime rate. That's fantastic. Because I know there's a lot of places, including in the US, where there's not such good crime. You don't want to be going out at nighttime, that's for sure. You
Oh
got to
yeah,
be careful.
yeah.
That's incredible. So, Jesse, I got a question. What do you do for fun in Namibia? What do you do like on the weekends? Do you go out to game reserves, or do you play soccer, football, or what do people do for fun?
Well, Gary, when I was younger, I played football and rugby. Our team actually won so many trophies back in the days, but unfortunately, I tore a ligament when I was in South Africa, so my sports days ended right there. But nonetheless, on weekends, I usually read a book. Currently reading The 50th Law by 50 Cent. It's quite an interesting book, I must say. And I walk my dogs, take my dogs out for walks. I have two huskies that I usually go out with, and usually in the evenings, and also enjoy playing chess. And if I'm not playing chess, well, I'd play a few games with my friends here and there, just to stay active. But yeah, that's what I usually do. I'm a real introvert, I must say.
Well, no, that's great. I mean, you don't go to the clubs to go dancing and everything, right?
No, no, no. And like you asked, game reserves. Well, I treat myself once a year. Last year I went to the dunes of Namibia, in the southern part of Namibia, and it's literally a desert, and there's bungalows and lodges in the desert, and it's quite exciting, I must admit. I mean, you're in the middle of nowhere, low reception. You'd find some desert animals. We went up the highest dune in Namibia. It was really exciting to see, and I think my next adventure will be in the northern part of Namibia, where there's close to Victoria Falls, so where we can see the waterfall and where it's really green and so on.
Oh, it's
And
supposed to
after
be
exploring
beautiful. The thing
Namibia,
is, the
sorry,
lake is right. The Victoria Lake is one of the largest lakes in the world, correct? In the falls,
correct,
it's
correct,
supposed to be
correct,
absolutely gorgeous, actually. That's great.
correct.
That sounds fantastic.
And the lovely part about that is that Victoria it borders 4 countries, right? So you have Namibia, you have Angola, you have Zambia, you have Zimbabwe, and is it Botswana as well? I think Botswana is there as well, and it's literally in the middle. So it's a nice sight to see. It's
Wow,
amazing.
that's great. Well, listen, we're coming to the top of the show. So closing thoughts, and how do people get a hold of you?
Well, as you know, audience, my name is GSD Schiceya. You can find me on LinkedIn. I know my surname is a bit difficult to pronounce, but you could also search us on Google, Cylon Accounting. And if you're looking for me exactly, you could search Cylon Accounting CEO or Cylon Accounting Founder. co-founder, and you'll find my LinkedIn pop up on the Google search. And I'm always welcome to conversate and network. I enjoy talking to different people. It's really nice.
So what about closing thoughts? Any closing thoughts for them? So for those African startups out there that are thinking about, our companies and individuals thinking about going global, what kind of advice do you have?
Well, first thing I'd say is find the right networks. I love to network with the right people. Find the right networks and the right support, those that believe in you. And for the African startups, it's a journey, and a journey is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So I'd say believe in what you're doing, especially when you see there's a demand for it. Believe in it. Sometimes it will be cold nights, but as you know, there are flowers that bloom in the dark, and once you come out, you could be a potato. I mean, I saw a video, right? I saw a video, right, where potatoes grow in the dark. So this lady was talking about be a potato, and when you come out, you'll be a strong potato. So yeah, sometimes the dark days are your blessings. And
I have to remember that. That's interesting. I'm gonna be a strong potato. Hey, I thought it was only mushrooms, right?
Right, yeah, and all that pressure and everything comes out of a
Yeah.
great healthy potato. But Gary, thanks for having me. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, no, here's the French fries, here's the French fries. So no, thanks, Jesse, for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. And thanks to all the audience for joining Gary's Picks. Stay tuned for another exciting edition coming up in 2 weeks. Stay happy, stay safe, and stay healthy. Joel, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Another excellent Gary's Picks. So thank you for that, Gary. And Jesse, really, really interesting story there. And wish you all the best of luck in the world for that. So very good.
Thank you, Joel.
Yeah. So again, thanks to everybody for attending. And we'll see you back here on the 26th for the next, is that right? Yeah, 26th for the next Gary's Picks event. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll see you then. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.